Now to talk about Venice Beach, California. Man, Venice Beach, California. I had the time of my life in Venice Beach. And I knew it was going to be amazing from the first time I was in Venice Beach. You know, I think it was back in 2001. I had plans to go to Africa to teach English in Ghana at Bhakti Tirtha Swami's ashram in Ghana. And everything was going to be arranged for me. But my problem was I had a parrot, and my parrot needed to be taken care of. So in 2001, I was to go to Africa, but I had a parrot, and I had to figure out what to do with this parrot. And so I had a friend of mine who used to date. I used to live with her in Richmond, Virginia, and she was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she said, "Yeah, I'll take the parrot." And I was like, "Oh, that's great, but how am I going to get the parrot to you in Albuquerque, New Mexico?" And she said, "If you buy the bird's plane ticket, I'll buy your plane ticket. You can come to Albuquerque and bring me the bird, because the bird had a cost, whatever the fee was associated with it. And so I would give her the bird, and that's exactly what I did. I think I'd take the parrot to a vet. He had me checked out. Then I got a cat carrier. And I put the bird in the cat carrier, and I go to the airport to go fly to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'm excited. I'm figuring I'm going to drop the bird off, and then I'm going to Africa. Well, now I go to the airport, and I'm in the Philadelphia International Airport, and I run into the temple president and sannyasi for the Philadelphia Hare Krishna Temple, Vinja Saru. And I see His Holiness there, and I said, "Oh, Maharaj, what are you doing in the airport?" And he explains to me that he's going to Los Angeles for the Los Angeles Rath Yatra. Well, I went to a New York Rath Yatra, North Jersey Rath Yatra, upstate Pennsylvania Rath Yatra. There's all these different ones. And so I went to several of them, and I was very excited. And I said, "Oh, that's great. There's a Los Angeles Rath Yatra." And I didn't know anything about it. And I said, "Well, I would love to go if I can find the time. Maybe I can meet up with you there." And he said, "That would be great." Well, we sat in the terminal and we talked for a while, and he's like, "What do you got there?" I'm like, "It's a parrot." Everyone thought it was a kitty cat because it was a cat carrier, so they want to pet the cat, and then the parrot would come up, squawking at him. It was pretty funny to see. So I fly out to Albuquerque, and I meet up with my friend, and we were reconnecting, we're hanging out, and it was a nice time, but it was just a struggle, It was too different. I was in a different frame of mind at that time, I wasn't into partying, I wasn't into eating meat, I wasn't into drinking, I was, I was getting up before dawn every day and doing my yoga and my japa, and doing the sun salutation. So every day I'm up and I'm doing yoga on our balcony, and sitting there with my beads, doing my japa meditations. This girl thought I was losing my mind, I think I even shaved shaved my head or something, So she was just like, "Wow, man, you're a totally different person now than when I last knew you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this and that." And then there was even one time I went on a Harinam through Albuquerque by myself. I had some car towels, and it was hot, summertime, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Jogging around Albuquerque, ching, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Just trying to keep my chi up because I was just surrounded by, material stuff. Nothing bad, just, normal life stuff. But I was really trying to stay focused because I wanted to go to Africa. I was thinking I'm really got to devote my psyche, to go to Africa. And so I had a friend of mine who was still in New Jersey or Philadelphia, and he said, "Hey man, I'm going to send you." I said, "No." I called him on the telephone. I was talking on the phone. I was like, "Yeah." So I'm in Albuquerque, but it's bumming me out, and I would love to go to Los Angeles to check out this Rath Yatra that's going on Venice Beach. So my buddy said, "All right, I'll send you like $100." He sent me $100 because the bus ticket was like $100, and so with all that money. Spent all the money, got on the bus, took a bus from Albuquerque to Los Angeles. And Once I got to Los Angeles, I had to find my way to the Krishna Temple on Wasika Ave, New Dwarka. And so I took a bus down Venice Boulevard and all the way to Wasika Ave to the Hare Krishna Temple. I get to the Hare Krishna Temple, nobody's there. They're all at the Rath Yatra at Venice Beach, the beach. I didn't know nothing about LA or Venice or nothing. I didn't know where I was. So now I'm walking around this temple by myself and wondering what I'm going to do. And all of a sudden I bump into another devotee. He says, "Are you trying to get to the Rath Yatra?" I said, "I am." "Come on, we'll go there together." And somehow there's some other lady pulled up to the temple saying, "Is this where the festival is?" And we were like, "No, we'll take you to it." And we got in this lady's car in a convertible. This is my first time in Los Angeles. Now I'm in this convertible heading to the beach. Mind blown, right? We get to Venice Beach and hey man, it was amazing. We get on the boardwalk just as the chariots are going down the boardwalk to the festival grounds. And everybody's ecstatic and they're throwing flowers and candies. There's drums, kartals and horns, and everybody's chanting, and it's just incredible, man. And I was able to just rope right in, and I had my dhoti on. It was just spiritually. And Venice Beach. If you've ever been to Venice Beach and to see a Rath Yatra on Venice Beach, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I had this big spiritual experience, and I ended up spending another week in New Dwarka. I saw Ravindra Swarup at the Rath Yatra, and we met. And I asked him if they could talk to the temple president in LA, and if I could, find accommodations while I'm here. And I spent a week going on Food for Life, missions, feeding the homeless. It was proper temple living. Anybody that's lived stayed in the temple. If you don't, it's just getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, going to the 4:30 Mangala Arti, helping out in the kitchen, helping out in the dorms. It was just absolutely wonderful, man. Absolutely wonderful. I was so charged. When I got back to Philly, I found out that my daughter was to live with me, not my wife, when we separated. So I ended up having to cancel my plans to go to Africa and basically raise my daughter until 2005, I believe it was. I moved to California, to Venice Beach. Took another on the Greyhound, 3.5 days across the country. And I finally get there, and my buddy picks me up, and I stay like 2 weeks in the valley, and then finally I get a job in Venice Beach. Now, I had no place to stay in Venice Beach, me and my girlfriend, and the very first night that we were there and I got the job, we ended up sleeping like next to a palm tree, right on the, next to the boardwalk on the grass. I had a leather jacket, so I just kind of slept with my back against a tree, and my girlfriend slept on my lap. We just chilled. We chilled there all night until it got very cold in the morning, and woke up. But I started working at this tattoo parlor, and I met this guy. Shout out to my homie Wiley, and he hooked me up with. He had a place. Somebody he knew was going to prison, and they let him have the apartment for the rest of the month, right? So during that time, I rented a room from Wiley in that apartment. So at least it was like another week, a week or two, I was able to get my feet on the ground in Venice Beach. After that, I ended up staying in a youth hostel for travelers. Usually most of them come from abroad, and what I did was it would cost me $20 for a bed for the night, and it was a bunk bed. So I would pay $40, 20 for me, 20 for my girlfriend, and we would have the top and bottom bunk, and usually we would put our gear on the top bunk, drape a curtain, and we would sleep on the bottom bunk, and it was in a room that had like 3 bunks in it, so we controlled 1/3 of the bunks. We had 2 lockers, and what was weird was everybody else was guys that were in there, and usually Europeans and stuff like that. And we stayed in that youth hostel for like 8 months, man. A communal kitchen, a rec center, they had pool tables, they had a place to watch movies. It was just a skateboard down the road from where I tattooed. And yeah, it was amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. I had some amazing, amazing times. I remember while I was staying in that hostel, I went out once with one guy, some European guy I met, and we were hanging out, drinking one night, and he was like, Aldo, have you ever been to Johnny Depp's club? And I was like, no, man. Well, Johnny Depp owns a club in Sunset Strip called the Viper Room. And I'm like, Viper Room? Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of that club. That's where River Phoenix died, like right outside the Viper Room, right? And, yeah. So he's like, let's go to the Viper Room tonight. It's on the Sunset Strip. And I'm like, you know what, dude? Let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got a couple bucks on me, but let's go to Sunset Strip. I've been living in LA for almost, like 6 months at this point, and I've never been to Sunset Strip. I've stayed in Venice Beach. But anyway, so I go to Sunset Strip. I get to Sunset Strip, and it's Friday night or Saturday night, and everything's just bumping. And it was really nice. And we're walking around, and we're looking for the Viper Room. And we get there, and we go inside, right? And we're going to pay our cover charge, and the lady at the door is like, which band are you here to see? And my buddy's like, Johnny Depp's band. And the lady's like, $10. So we give $10, and we go in. So we go in, and we're drinking a beer, and the first band comes on. They were a really great rockabilly band, right? They were called Three Bad Jacks, and they put on a great show. I mean, they were doing like the Ace of Spades from Motorhead, but they were doing like a rockabilly version of it. It was really intense, man. I was like, hey, these guys are really good, man. And then as I'm watching the show, I'm talking to this guy next to me, and he's got on like a Hawaiian shirt and a straw hat. He looked like big, thick rimmed glasses. He looked like Buddy Holly, right, from back in the 50s. And I'm talking with the guy, and he's like, what's your accent? You got a familiar accent. Where are you from, man? And I'm like, well, I'm from Philadelphia. Oh, from Philly. Oh, I know Philly. I've been there a lot. The Geeter with the heater, right? And I'm like, yeah, Jerry Blavat. Yeah, he plays the 50s music, the oldies music and stuff. Yeah, we listened to that. And we got to talking, and cheers. Next thing you know, the next band comes on, and the announcer's like, hey, man, we just want to welcome this next band. They're an icon of ours. If it wasn't for them, there'd be no rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Comets. And I'm like, Comets? Do they mean like Bill Haley and the Comets? Like the Comets? 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. What? The Comets? Sure enough, I'm like, if these guys are the real Comets, they're going to be like 70, 80 years old. Sure enough, here comes like these 5, 70, 80-year-old men, all like, and one of them had a walker. And the guy with the walker goes and sits down behind the drum kit. And then the rest of the guys, they get to pick up their instruments, right? Now, Bill Haley, I think, had passed on, so it's just the Comets, right? And the guy playing the guitar gets up there, and I'm looking at the guy, I'm talking to the guy next to me like, yo, the Comets? Can you believe this is the Comets? We got to see the Comets for like $10, right? This guy's like, I know, right? Like, da-da-da-da-da. All of a sudden, they start playing. And it's just mind-blowing, dude. The Comets is playing. Rock Around the Clock, Wake Up Little Susie, all right, every other little fucking songs. And I go to get myself another beer at the bar, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, do you know who you were just talking to over there? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm just still tripping on the Comets playing right now, And I'm like, who? The guy in the Hawaiian shirt? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Who is it? Buddy Holly? Have you ever seen SpongeBob SquarePants? Yeah, my daughter loves that show, And he's like, well, that's the voice of SpongeBob. And I'm like, get out of here. So I go back over to the guy, and I'm like, yo, man, that guy just told me that you're SpongeBob. Are you SpongeBob? And he's like, yeah, I'm SpongeBob. I was like, bet, dude, you are awesome. I love SpongeBob. And I told him the story about how I was in Amsterdam, and it was the first time I've seen a SpongeBob cartoon. And, I was high from smoking spliffs all day. He was looking for a peanut. He's like, where can I find a peanut? And he looks in the bathroom. And, dude, I cracked up laughing. They show a picture of the toilet. But then they pan the screen up to a peanut plant growing on the, windowsill above the toilet. And there was like one peanut growing on the peanut sill. And so I was like, only in LA would I be in Johnny Depp's club watching the Comets, talking to SpongeBob SquarePants. So how surreal was that? That's when I knew I was in LA. Probably around, like I said, the eighth, ninth month, I ended up getting an apartment. And right off the beach, man. Like you could literally every night, with my window open, I would fall asleep to the sound of the ocean, crashing on the beach. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. The only problem, I made good friends in the apartment complex. The only problem was, like the meth. Like for some reason, the Mexican handyman had a helper who was trying to sell meth to everybody in the fucking apartment complex. Oh, I could have killed this guy, you know. But other than that, I loved that place. Right around the corner from where I worked, and right there on the beach. That was amazing living in Venice Beach, and a lot of amazing things happened. I remembered when I first got there, they had a drum circle on the beach that same first day that I got to, met the guy at the tattoo parlor. He gave me, I think, some acid. So me and my girl ate some acid, and we went and we traded some bus tokens to somebody for some ganja, and we had some food, and we went to the beach, and we had like a picnic while there was 200 people having a drum circle, around us. And we ate our food and smoked our spliff, tripping and listening to the drums. And I remember the sun was setting over the ocean, and the drums were playing. And I just sat there, and a tear rolled out my eye, dude. And I was like, we got to live here. We got to live here. And sure enough, man, we lived there for like a year. A little over a year and a half, and I ended up pushing my luck because I was so enamored with California and the fact that I went there with nothing. I got to California with $50 in my pocket, and now, a year, 2 years later, I've been living in Venice Beach, and this is amazing. So I decided to keep on pushing my luck, and I said, let's keep heading west. Let's go to Hawaii. And I met a guy from Hawaii, this dread Rasta guy, or dread hippie guy, and he moved back to Hawaii. So I said, we'll go to Hawaii, we'll check him out, we'll look up the homie. And so our next adventure was Hawaii, because Hawaii was really neat too. I learned a lot of lessons in Hawaii. Number one is don't push your luck. But I had a great time in Hawaii, man. But no, that was California, Venice Beach, and I ended up moving back to Venice Beach after Hawaii, but I'll get into that. So thank you for listening to this part, and part 2 is Hawaii.
Please, and give us a thumbs up and a heart.